Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be doing a Ryanair Flight 224 service from Tallinn, Estonia to Stansted, England. It's approximately a 2-hour 20-minute flight. I've pulled the information from flightaware.com, which I think is a great place where you can go and find real flight plans to fly on your favorite simulator. So that's what we've picked for today's flight. We're going to be basically taking off Tallinn at runway 26, and we're going to be cruising at altitude 36,000 feet, and we're going to be arriving into Stansted, England, London, runway 22. So let's get things set up here, and we'll be on our way. I will try to summarize some of the steps. This is a cold and dark state, so I'm going to try to summarize here. So we're going to go ahead and use the predefined set for fuel, 2/3. I'm waiting for the APU here to... okay, let's go ahead and see what we can do in the meantime. Okay, so we're good to go. Let's go ahead and power up the APU. No smoking sign, seat belts, adheres to align mode, and let's go ahead and turn on the yaw damper on before I forget it. Okay, looks like we're good to program the FMC now, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so first thing first, initial location is Echo Tango November. And I have used PFPX to build the flight route for this flight, so it's already in there. Let's go ahead and select our departure. We're going to be departing Tallinn today on Lons 1 Tango, I believe, yes, runway 26, and we're going to be arriving into Stansted, London on Star. Our arrival is going to be Case 1 Charlie and ILS 22, and we're going to be selecting the Casey transition. So that's our leg. Let's activate, execute. Let's go ahead and check for any discontinuities in our flight plan. There's one there, so let's fix that. Okay, so that's done. Everything looks good. Okay, so let's move on to our fuel. Zero fuel 52.5.2, and we're gonna just go ahead and put the plan. We'll put 5 for reserves. Doesn't really matter. Cost index 50, and we're gonna be cruising at altitude 360 for this flight today. By the way, this information I pulled from FlightAware as well, so it will tell you the flight level of the plan. Let's go ahead and grab some weather information here and set things up. I'm using Active Sky, so we're going to tune to 122.00 to get the weather information.
Echo Tango November airport information Charlie 1520 Zulu weather wind 271 at 9er visibility 10 sky clear.
Okay, that's our weather information
2.5
for Tallinn.
1014 advise on initial contact with information Charlie, Echo, Echo, Tango, November, airport information, Charlie 1520 Zulu, weather.
Okay, thank you, other man. Okay, so I'm just going to put in 25 for one limit. Okay, so we're going to be doing flaps 5 today, and that will give us a V2 of 151 for our takeoff speed. Let's set up the trim. Okay, that's about right. 5.35. That's perfectly fine. Okay, let's set up our speed. So that's V2. And our altitude is 36,000 feet. Okay. Flight director on. VNAV, LNAV are on. Auto throttle is armed. And we look good to actually request push and start this point. RTO for brakes. Okay, what else is there? Okay, everything looks good. TCAS, fine. We'll set that up. We're not flying online today, but nevertheless, we'll go ahead and turn TCAS on. Okay, that's fine. Okay, window neat. Good. Everything is good. Seatbelt signs, smoking signs, everything is okay. So I think we're good to request pushback now. So we're clear to start the engines. Okay, let's wait for fuel pressure there. This is very nice scenery. Okay, so I think we have good pressure. So we'll go ahead and start engine number 2. And we will monitor everything is okay. Let's set up our altitude to 36,000 feet. Okay. So we have a good start on engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. I never flew Ryanair, but I hear it's a good budget airline. I like their livery very much. I think it's very nice, very unique livery. So there we go. I think we're good. We have a good start on both engines, and we're ready to disconnect the pushback tug, and we're good to go. Let's turn the lights on here. We need to start here for so I've looked over the charts for Tallinn. So we're going to now go ahead and taxi to the runway, and we're going to be departing runway 26. So this is the closest route to runway 26. Okay, landing lights on, strobe is on, and we're going to go ahead and take off. Flaps 5. Everything looks good, and here we go. Okay, let's line up on the center line. All right, full power. Up. Very nice scenery. Very, very nice scenery. Okay, we're going to begin our turn now. Have engaged the autopilot. Okay, so we're climbing to our cruising altitude, and I wanted to capture this moment as the clouds here look jaw-dropping. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. By the way, I've used Active Sky, I've used Opus Weather, I've used FS Global Weather. I've used just about all the weather engines. Rex, of course, I've used it as well. But I kind of tend to like Active Sky the most. I do like the textures from Rex Direct, the HD textures, but I find Active Sky to be the most realistic in terms of weather generation, as well as the sounds of the storms and thunderstorms and whatnot. It just really immerses you in the simming experience. I am using, by the way, Opus Live camera, and this is what I've used to actually kind of navigate through the cockpit. What you see, this effect moving from one direction to the other, is an Opus weather camera. Okay, so we've cut short through our flight. We are now making the final turn to intercept the ILS for runway 22 at Stansted in London. And as you can see, that there are a few scattered clouds, but the weather overall is very nice. So no issues there. We expect a very smooth landing on runway 22. By the way, I haven't changed my settings from the last settings video that I've made, so these are exactly the same settings. I've just changed the textures for the weather, but other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. I did forget to mention one thing in my settings video, It is of course in the config file, but I just forgot to mention that I'm limiting my frames inside prepared to 40 frames. I found this number to be the sweet spot for me. Very, very smooth, no stutters, frames are good. So it's a very smooth flying experience with locked at 40 frames. I've tried 30 frames, by the way, and it gave me a little bit of stutters. I'm not sure why, but that was just the case. So I've read, I think I've got it somewhere over the internet from someone that is locking the frames at 40 using an external limiter. So I've done that at first. I did get some improvement, but I couldn't get rid of the stutters completely. So I've decided to use it. I think we'll need some drag here to slow us down. So I've used 40 frames within prepared, and that worked perfectly. Let me check where we are. Okay, so we need to basically descend to 25. We're very, very close to our destination, so I'm going to go ahead and descend now to 2500, which is the final restriction for us before we intercept the ILS and glide slope to land. I do have OpenLC scenery, which is really nice. I think it's really nice scenery package from FDX. Okay, so there isn't really much to do. We're at about passing flight level 8,000 to 2,500, and let me go ahead and zoom in here to see. Okay, I think we're okay. Altimeter is set, and I have programmed the ILS frequency into my radios. So we are pretty much good for landing. Very beautiful weather. Very, very beautiful. Very nice scenery, textures. Everything's just really very nice. Okay, we're not going to be able to see much now inside these big clouds, but you got to trust the instruments. Okay, we're at 7,000 feet now. Everything looks okay. Auto brakes on 2. All looks well. Normally at this stage I would put, okay, here we've captured the localizer. So normally at this stage I would actually do the fixes, but for this flight I thought, I'll skip that and just go ahead and cut it short. Okay, so we've captured the localizer. It's showing us that we're a bit too high, but that's fine. I think we'll be able to make the difference up very quickly. I'm going to go ahead and retract the speed brakes now. Actually, let's go ahead and arm the speed brakes. Okay, so speed brakes are armed, and we are pretty close to our destination. Course is set. Okay, so we're going to have to reduce our speed now. So let's go ahead and reduce speed to 166 knots. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and engage the approach, and as you can see that we are now on our path to intercept the ILS and land. Gear down, flaps 15. still a bit too high, but hopefully we'll be able to, I don't think it should be a problem, so okay, speed is reducing nicely there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the speed to reference speed for landing. All right, looks like our altitude is fine now. I was getting a bit worried about that, but it looks like it's okay now. Let's go ahead and reduce speed to reference speed now. Okay, flaps 30, speed is 146 knots, and everything looks pretty good. Opus active camera. Very nice, very easy to use and set up, and you can create a lot of views on the fly. By the way, this feature that you're seeing, the turbulence, the effect of turbulence on the aircraft that you see, is a feature of Opus live camera. There is an option when you create a view to either enable turbulence or disable it completely. You can actually select if you want it, like speed bumps, effect, all sorts of kind of factors that will cause the plane to vibrate can be selected, and you can select not only the options, but you can select the intensity of each option. So that's really a nice thing. I wish that that the weather engine was as good as Active Sky. That way I don't have to run two programs. I would just use one. But unfortunately, Active Sky is really the best out there, and I do not prefer using as stock. I believe that's not as stock camera. It's a bit complicated to set up and use. But anyway, it works. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the results that I get, so no complaints there. We're pretty close. I think we're about 1,400 feet above ground, so we're almost there. Contemplating whether I should turn off the autopilot or just see how this plane is going to land itself. Just complete full auto land. Alright, so let's go ahead and leave the autopilot on, and let's see what happens. Normally at about 500 feet it kind of turns itself off, but I'm just going to wait and see what happens here. Okay, everything looks good. Speed, Very, very nice. Okay. Alright, folks, I hope that you've enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And until next time, please take care of yourself and each other. Bye for now.